story begins with a father and daughter who set out for an important interview. On the way, the father sneezes due to pollen allergy. In a few seconds of distraction, a white horse suddenly comes in the middle of the road. By the time Elliot regains consciousness, it is too late. The horse collides with his car. The horse is in pain and the place is so isolated that there is no hospital nearby. Being helpless, the father decides to set him free. He takes an iron rod and goes to him. But as soon as they get closer, they realize that he is not just a white horse, he is a unicorn. His wounds are bleeding brimstone blood. Elliot is scared because he is afraid that if he is late, he can go to jail. Meanwhile, the unicorn makes a loud scream, and the horn on his head starts emitting bright light. Gridley, his daughter, as soon as she touches that horn, she reaches a psychedelic world where there are colorful nebulas and cosmic light all around. Elliot calls her, but she goes into a state of unconsciousness. In the end, Elliot hits that unicorn on the head and kills him. Brimstone blood falls on their faces. They put the unicorn's corpse in the car and quickly head towards the lakeside villa, where Elliot has to become a legal daily proxy lawyer of a rich family. While going for the interview, Elliot feels a shocking thing. His 1,000-degree vision has suddenly become completely fine, even without glasses. On the other hand, Ridley goes to the bathroom and washes her face. When she puts a handkerchief made of unicorn's blood on her face, she finds out that her pimples, which had been frozen for many years, have disappeared in an instant. She believes that all this is the effect of the unicorn's blood. At the same time, the dead unicorn lying in the car suddenly wakes up. His horn emits light again and he tries to break the window and run away, but a security guard shoots him. The unicorn dies, but his utility is still remaining. Ridley and Elliot tell that their allergies, eyesight, and chronic issues such as pimples have only been cured by touching the unicorn's blood. Hearing this, the dying billionaire's enthusiasm returns. He immediately calls the medical and security team. Ridley looks at the tapestry of a unicorn in the villa and researches it, and finds out that this tapestry is associated with medieval times. There are a total of 7 tapestries that tell a story. In that story, a king sends many hunters to catch the unicorn, but no one succeeds. Finally, a pure-hearted girl kills the unicorn and locks it in the castle, but he comes back to life in bloodshed throughout the palace. Ridley thinks that he has a psychic connection with the unicorn. He dreams at night, in which the unicorn seems to be looking for something in the jungle. At the same time, 2 people come in protective suits, and Ridley takes his father for medical checkup. At the order of the billionaire, Dr. Song announces that electromagnetic waves are still coming out of the unicorn's horn. But the billionaire and everyone else are only interested in treating incurable diseases from the unicorn's blood. The doctor takes out a powder that is made from the unicorn's horn and says that its effect is better than the unicorn's blood. The billionaire immediately puts that powder in his body through IV drip. Within a few hours, the doctor says that all the cancer cells have disappeared from the billionaire's body. Later, the billionaire calls the billionaires connected to the Davos Economic Forum through his global network and starts selling the horn powder at the price of $1 billion per gram, and in minutes, billions are earned. But Ridley gives a reality check like cold water in front of everyone. He says that if the unicorn is true, then the warning of the tapestry can also be true. And if the unicorn takes revenge, then everyone's destruction is certain. If such a heavy asset is in front of you, how can a rich man leave it? The rich man seriously refused Ridley and said that his words are absolute nonsense. Ridley got out of anger, sat alone in the car, and laser beams were shining in the sky. The unicorn's body was being vacuum-packed and sent to the lab through a dust-free corridor. But they did not reach far that suddenly the power was cut off. The sound of the electromagnetic sensor kept getting louder. There were scary thunderstorms nearby. The laser in the sky got even faster, and in the same laser, the thunderstorm was also shining. The thunderstorms kept coming closer. Dawsong suddenly had a sharp chest pain. When he picked up the cloth, he saw that a large claw had torn his body. Another large unicorn's shadow was hovering over the plastic cover. Ridley was sitting in the car with a flashlight, looking here and there in the dark. The unicorn was attracted by the light, and he suddenly ran towards the car. Ridley immediately came out of the side. He entered under the car. Then, mentally prepared, he quickly ran towards the locked room. The strange thing was that the unicorn suddenly calmed down. He sat on his knees in front of Ridley and extended his claw towards him. As soon as Ridley tried to touch him, the security chief came with a gun and broke the silence. The injured unicorn ran away from the mansion. Everyone was discussing at the dining table that why the unicorn didn't kill Ridley. Ridley remembered that he touched the claw of the baby unicorn during the day. Maybe that touch made a special relationship. Maybe that was the reason why the unicorn didn't harm him. Now the rich man decided to seize all the unicorn resources. He made a team of 5 people so that the injured unicorn could be found in the jungle. The name was Wounded Unicorn Rescue Plan. Following the bloodstains on the ground, they reached the unicorn in the jungle full of dust. Its shiny claw had revealed its location. The rich man slowly moved forward. He bent down and started touching the unicorn, but he didn't know that another big unicorn was following him. The security chief was cut off at the same time and disappeared in the dust. Both the unicorns hid in the dust and suddenly attacked. In the end, only Elliot and the rich man survived, but the unicorns kept following them. Meanwhile, the black sister cut the claw of the baby unicorn, as was the plan. Both the unicorns surrounded the rich man from both sides. He kept trying to calm him down. Maybe his attempt worked. The unicorn slowly bowed its head. The rich man tried to touch it again, but just before touching it, the unicorn tore his head off. The rest of the people ran to the mansion and closed the door. Seeing such a terrible incident, everyone decided that it was useless to fight the unicorn. They were about to call the police when electromagnetic interference occurred in the room. The electricity went out and the phone network was also switched off. It seems that the unicorn parents had made full preparations to trap them. The decision was made to return the baby unicorn, but there was a problem. The estate gate was locked due to the power cut. Now only manually could be opened. The black sister was sent to return the baby unicorn and the butler to open the gate. Although the unicorn was returned, but its claw was kept by the greedy shepherd. When the black sister kept the baby unicorn in front of her parents, they saw that its claw was missing. In anger, the unicorn parents tore the black sister from its back. In such a dangerous situation, Shepherd was only thinking of profit. How to trap the unicorns and start breeding them. He thought that by finding the pure-hearted girl, the unicorns can be attracted and caught, and that girl was Redley. Suddenly, there was silence outside. The rich lady thought that the unicorns had left. She went to the wooden shelf and put her ear. Suddenly, a claw tore her chest. She was dragged out and killed by a whip. When Shepherd saw it, he immediately took out a rocket so that he could blast the nearby oxygen tank. But suddenly he stopped. He was afraid that the unicorns would die in the explosion and his artificial breeding plan would end. So he left his mother dying. And seeing all this was really heartbreaking. When it was revealed that the unicorn's blood can cure cancer, what should Elliot decide? Elliot took a cut-off hoof and took the unicorn away so that his daughter Redley could get a chance to run. But he forgot that Shepherd was behind him. He threatened Redley with a bow and arrow and forced him to sit on his knees in front of the mansion. The gong unicorn came to him screaming, but came in front of him and fell asleep in his lap. This proves that Redley is really the purest girl from the heart. The shepherd quickly tied the gong to the unicorn's hands and feet. Meanwhile, Elliot also took the mother unicorn with a cut-off hoof and took her there. She also fell asleep near Redley. Now Shepherd tied him up and decided that he would start farming unicorns from Monday. He kept babbling, then Elliot came to him and injured him with a unicorn horn. Shepherd also attacked with a bow and arrow. Both fell down together. Sleeping unicorns woke up and broke their bonds. Shepherd stood shivering and said, "I need a little unicorn blood. This will save my life." But seeing the freed unicorns, he was devastated. Elliot also died. When Redley was sad, then the unicorns put one of Elliot's legs near their child. Both unicorns sat face to face on their knees. Their claws collided and formed a giant black hole. The next moment, the baby unicorn's wounds began to fill, and the cut-off claw joined again. Elliot also came back to life. He also went into the same trance as if he had entered the universe. The black hole kept getting bigger and stopped with the explosion. The baby unicorn happily jumped out. His parents also followed behind. Now they will keep protecting their child. Elliot and Redley were still celebrating their revival when the police came and arrested them. because a lot of people were killed in the mansion, so they were considered murderers. But the father and daughter smiled. They knew that no one would believe them. That's when the unicorn family returned, as if they knew that Redley was in trouble again. He came near the car window and gestured with his eyes to tie the seatbelt. Then he hit the police car. And with this, the film ends.